Hello once again, Leo. It's the month of October 2016. I'm Dadhichi from astrology.com.au. For those of you that are new, welcome. Hope to be of some service to you here in looking at your horoscope. This is a brief overview of your sun sign analysis, and to kick the month off we see in your third house of communication the new moon taking place in close proximity to one of your bosom buddies, Jupiter. Jupiter is a very intimate friend of your ruling planet, well, the ruler, it's not a planet, the sun. And by virtue of that fact, we can expect some really awesome sorts of happenings, particularly in the way you communicate to others and also in terms of the way your mind works. Because according to Western astrology, this third house of your horoscope is more the conscious mind. It's short journeys, it has to do with siblings as well. So all these things are encompassed by the new moon in the company of Jupiter taking place in the sign of Libra in this third house of your horoscope. So that's great news. On top of that, you've got the 10th ruler, Venus, transiting your fourth house of domestic bliss. And Venus for you not as friendly, but it's still generally considered a positive planet, a lucky planet, that is going to help you achieve what you want in a domestic sense. So coupled with this new ability to communicate, an optimistic view of things, the month of October is looking like a good one for you. Be careful, however, there is a little bit of impulse indicated here by the right angle to Mars that also takes place. Jupiter, especially when it's in the right angle to Jupiter, and we see that taking place on the 6th, straight after this new moon, is one that means you are likely to be a little overconfident, tending to assume you know everything about something that you're not. And because this new moon takes place in the third house, which also governs contracts, that's intuitively what's come up to me just now as I'm talking, that may be an area where you tend to sort of skim over the important small print, and you mustn't do that. That could cause some problems later in the month, because Mars is going to be in contact with Pluto on the 19th. Now that takes place after the full moon, which occurs in your 9th house. 9th house is legalities. And the moon, by the way, Leo, rules your 12th house of losses, hidden enemies and secret activities. So there's an intimate link there between this 12th house and your 9th house, legalities, losses, secret enemies, the square of that Mars to Jupiter, the third house contracts, the new moon in that area showing great enthusiasm. So what I'm saying is that you need to just be a little bit cautious. The omens are all good in terms of that new moon. Even the full moon in the 9th house is generally considered very lucky. And it's also a very spiritual part of the horoscope. 12th house is spirituality, charity, meditative practice. And the 9th house is gurus, religion, philosophy, as well as legalities. So it governs a few things. It is also the sector of the zodiac relating to higher education. So that third house, which is the mind, has the new moon, and the full moon takes place in the higher education sphere. So for some of you, it's quite likely you may be looking further afield to the current work or studies that you're doing, to improving that and spreading your wings and doing something that's a lot more fulfilling. By the way, in that 9th house, we see the transit of Uranus right now. So that full moon is going to be coming into contact with that, and that could mean that some of these changes, it could be changing subjects from one course to another, happen rather suddenly. There could be some connection with someone who enlightens you about the path forward for you in terms of what you're studying, in terms of what can be achieved through your study or seminars. This could be work related. And so that is something that I think is also on the cards for some of you throughout the month of October. I like the fact that the new moon will counteract the persistent transit of Saturn in your 5th house. Still a troublesome transit. We see Mercury there having come out of the difficult aspects. So for those of you that have been feeling a little glum, Mercury moves into better position, also moving into the third house, and I see that taking place on the 7th. Then the beautiful conjunction on the 11th with Jupiter. Some tough aspects there on the 14th, 16th, 20th, that's to Mars, Pluto and Uranus. We've mentioned them already with the right angle, but Mercury is going to vocalize those things, and that could be the time frame when some of those issues can come forward. Remember, we mentioned the contracts, that type of thing. Particularly important for you to read everything and reread it 14th to the 20th. Mercury then moves into the sign of Scorpio, your 4th house. You're going to shift your attention there to family matters, and that's not a bad thing. You probably need a little bit of a rest after all of that. I'm hoping to see you again here next month. Don't forget to visit astrology.com.au. We have the more detailed analysis of the month in question, and don't forget to avail yourself of the Destiny Engineering. They're the personal readings and the ongoing support that I'm giving thousands of people around the globe to help them understand and make heads of what their purpose is. So if you'd like that, I'm here. Yeah, just click below, join me at the site, send me a note. I'll be more than happy to help you where I can. Till next month, take care. Bye-bye.